Now, see, this right here is what really just drives me insane. You guys can't say there isn't racism or an abundance of racism or even classism. Because if you have a rich, a wealthy 90-year-old, 79-year-old man, come on, focus. You have a wealthy 79-year-old man, why is it not focusing? Okay, who raped a 5-year-old and he gets 90 days house arrest. But then you have a 15-year-old boy who stole sneakers and gets 5 years in prison. That's America for you. That's America for you. But you remember, there's another video where I made of the son of the top judge who was supposed to get 250 years, and he had like thousands of pictures of child porn on his phone, and he got probation or house arrest and some probation. And then there was another guy who had like 1,000 years or something like that, and he only did 0.07% of his term, and I think he got released because of COVID. No, see, he should not have gotten released. That young black boy should not have been jailed for 5 years for stealing tennis shoes. Are you serious? No, you would probably give 5 years for killing someone as a 15-year-old. But to steal tennis shoes and get 5 years, but yet this man, which is no, like, it did not endanger anyone for this young child to steal tennis shoes. He probably needed the tennis shoes, but the man, now he raped a 5-year-old or a 7-year-old. Now, he did bodily harm to another human being. He deserved 20 years. But the fact that he is white and wealthy, he has the means to get a better attorney, and the black boy did not. See, this is the greatest travesty of America. And that's what I'm saying about the inequalities of it all. Even through this pandemic, you have the blacks and the Mexicans who are, the frontline workers at the restaurants, but you have the techies who are tucked at home, who when they go out, some of them, I'm not going to say a lot of them, I'm not going to say all of them, I'm going to say some of them feel like they're too entitled to wear a mask. I'm not going to say that they brought on the pandemic, and I'm not going to put it on techies. I think a lot of people, I will say that the reason why America has prolonged this pandemic other than any other country, first world country, superpower country, I'll add that, is because of the entitlement that people feel that they don't need to wear a mask, that they can go out and party, that they can go travel, that they can, parlay. But it's not that serious for you guys to take part in social events. Dr. Fucci just said, stay at home. Stay at home unless you need to be out. Now, it should be illegal right now until they get this pandemic under control to party, to congregate with others, more than 3 people. It should be illegal. I just saw a picture of, my cousin at somebody's funeral. I'm like, what? I see pictures all the time of people congregating in the Bay Area. I'm like, what is going on with you people? Like, do you guys not get it? Like, the numbers are still up considering this is summer. The pandemic was supposed to be over, in May or the beginning of June. Today is August. And you still have hospitals in Florida, in Texas, that are running out of rooms, ICU rooms, because people are still hanging out. They're still, at the beaches. I don't know why government has not put, their foot down and legalized or illegalized or whatever, made a law where it's mandatory, every state, not just some state, not just some people, well, black people can get arrested for not wearing a mask, but white people, they get assisted. That's not fair. That's not fair. And you know what? People are saying, you can't say that. Not all white people. I'm not saying not all white people. But if you have eyes, you can see the injustices. This is a perfect example. Again, why would a man get house arrest for raping a 5-year-old? Was it a whatever, a young child? What type of jurisdiction, what type of judicial system allows a man who rapes a child to get house arrest, but a young 15-year-old black boy stealing a pair of tennis shoes gets 5 years in prison? No, 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 no. There's another, I saw another little video clip of a man who committed a double homicide when he was 13. He's been in jail since he was 13 or 15. I think he went to jail at 15. The man is 43 years old. A child who committed a double homicide should not get 82 years in prison. No, no. Like statutes or sentences like that is just ludicrous. And we have to stand up now that it's, trendy for black people to speak up other than Nick Cannon. I guess it's the time to do it. Let's get it in before the trend goes away, and it's going away. It's going away. Colin Kaepernick still has not been signed. No. Wild 'N Out still has not been re-signed. I mean, it's not back on. There's a multitude of things that, is still unjust. Okay, another example. So the unemployment benefits, people were getting an extra $600 a week. All right, now, whether or not they deserve it or, whether or not it's preventing them from going to work, they still need it, especially in the Bay Area. Rent and mortgages, if you recently bought a house, it's so expensive out here. Like I said before, if you live in Iowa or Montana or Mississippi, $600 goes a long way. You can get a 3-bedroom house. I think even in Arizona, I don't know. Idaho. Missouri, I don't know. But here in the Bay Area, that won't even get you a storage unit, much less a room. You can't even get a room for $600 in the Bay Area. A room, much less an entire apartment. You either have to be, you have to be dirt poor. You have to actually be homeless in order to get a free motel room, now that the pandemic is going. So I don't know. And London Breed is, she, is going to defund the police department and put it into the black community. This is what I have a problem with. What I don't want to happen is it not go directly to the kids. Okay, the people who are coming up. I don't want that 120 million to go into close friends' bank accounts, for this fictitious, job title. That's what I don't want to happen. And this is why I really particularly don't care for politicians, because they're shisty. They're shisty. You always hear about politicians embezzling something. There's an article on a black woman, a lawmaker, who I think embezzled $600,000 for her wedding, her honeymoon, and her divorce. Oh, yes. Yes, it happens all the time. And usually those funds are not appropriated to the people who actually need it. Same thing with the stimulus package. Yeah, the poor people got $1,200 4 months ago. The rich people got 1.6 million. You see how that happens? The rich get the bulk of it. The poor get, pebbles. And we're supposed to be like, that's good. Same thing with the, unemployment. And then I heard that Trump is not even trying to include the immigrants, illegal immigrants or immigrants in the census. Trump, you really need to get it together because you're really getting on my nerves. You're really getting on my nerves. Like, you say things every day and it's like, where is your PR staff? Like, do you rehearse things before you say it, or you just say it off the top of your head? I mean, like, we're 4 years down. Like, okay, I can understand if you would have said it in the first year, you were new, but you should be a little more polished as a president, because you didn't come in as as a politician. You came in as a businessman. But 4 years later, someone should be training you in the back room. Okay, you need to say this, don't say that. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't seem like it's happening because you're getting worse, not better.